Selling your products on Amazon using Amazon's FBA or Fulfillment by Amazon service requires you to send your inventory to Amazon's network of fulfillment warehouses around the country. This can be quite confusing for first-timers since it requires you to notify Amazon ahead of time what you're sending in, when it will arrive, and properly package and label your shipment according to Amazon's strict inbound shipping guidelines. So in this masterclass, I'm going to show you how to send your inventory to Amazon by creating your first shipping plan, how to fill out the dozens of complicated fields, navigate the new confusing shipping plan options, and how to properly package and label your shipment so that you can avoid common mistakes that end up delaying your shipment, as well as potentially incurring numerous fines and penalties. So let's get started. Sending your first shipment of inventory to Amazon can be quite complicated, especially since Amazon made some big changes to their shipping plan workflow with the partnered carrier program and the new inventory placement options, which have made shipping inventory to Amazon more confusing and potentially more expensive. All right, so first things first. You don't always need to ship your inventory to Amazon's warehouses. You only need to ship inventory to Amazon if you plan to sell your products using Amazon's FBA service. FBA stands for Fulfillment by Amazon. This is where Amazon will handle all of the logistics for you, from storing your inventory, picking and packing your products, shipping, customer service, as well as handling any refunds and returns. If you plan to do FBM, which stands for Fulfillment by Merchant, where you plan to ship your products to your customers each time you make a sale, then you don't need to ship anything to Amazon. If you're wondering, I highly recommend going the FBA route since it makes selling so much easier. You don't have to worry about packing, labeling, shipping, or dealing with refunds and returns. Amazon does it all for you. And on top of that, your products will also get the Amazon Prime badge on your listings, meaning Amazon Prime members will get free 1 and 2 day Prime shipping, which helps boost your sales. Now, a common question I see sellers asking all the time is if they can just drop off their inventory to an Amazon warehouse since there's one close by to where they live. Well, unfortunately, you can't. Amazon does not accept drop-offs. You must create a shipping plan and have your inventory shipped to Amazon's warehouses through a shipping carrier like FedEx or UPS. You can't drop it off yourself. Okay, so if you plan to do FBA, then to get started with creating your first shipping plan, I'm going to assume that you already have an Amazon seller account. Of course, if you want to sell on Amazon, you need to have a verified account. So if you haven't done that yet, you can sign up by going to sell.amazon.com and register for a new seller account. Now, in order for you to ship inventory to Amazon, you also need to have created a product listing first. So if you haven't done that yet, then you won't be able to ship anything to Amazon. So to create a new product listing, you can click on Menu, Catalog, Add Products. Now, the specifics of creating a new product listing is beyond the scope of this video, so if you need help with that or with creating a new seller account, I'll leave links in the video description below to detailed videos that will show you how to do that. Now, once you've created your product listing, you'll see your product listed here on the Manage Inventory page. So to start the process of sending your products to Amazon begins with what's called a shipping plan. The shipping plan is how you inform Amazon what products you plan to ship, how many units of each product, how the products are packaged and labeled, and when Amazon can expect the shipment to arrive. So, as you can imagine, it's important that you fill out the shipping plan accurately. Otherwise, it will delay your shipment, or worse, Amazon will charge you penalty fees. Now, you can see that I'm out of stock on this item here. However, you don't have to be out of stock to send in more inventory. You can send in more inventory whenever you want, as long as you have the storage space available to do so, and I'll go over this later on in the video. So in order to stock up on this item, I can start a new shipping plan by clicking on the drop-down menu here and click on Send Replenish Inventory. You can also click on Menu, Shipments, and at the top here, click on Send to Amazon. Now, if you don't see the Send Replenish option like you can see on this listing, then your product isn't set to use Amazon's FBA service. When you created the product listing, you didn't choose that you wanted to use Amazon's Fulfillment by Amazon service. You can tell the listing isn't set to FBA because you'll see the option Change to Fulfilled by Amazon, like you can see here. If that's the case, then you can switch to FBA by clicking on Change to Fulfilled by Amazon and click List as FBA. Now, it may take a few minutes for this to actually update on your account. So if you don't see the send replenish option, just wait a few minutes and refresh the page. And once the option is available, click on send replenish. All right, now you can see that we're on step 1 of 3 steps. In this first step, we need to choose the products that we plan to ship to Amazon. You can see that we're on the pre-selected tab here. And down here, it shows the SKU that we chose on the previous page. If you have more than one product that you want to ship to Amazon, you can actually click on the All FBA SKUs tab here and select the other products that you want to include in this shipment. In this case, we're just going to keep it simple and just send in one SKU. Now, if this is your first time you've ever created a shipping plan for this product listing, then you're going to have to enter the origin address. The origin here is usually going to be your supplier's address or wherever you're shipping your products from. It actually doesn't really matter what you put here. You can put your own address if you want, but I suggest putting your supplier's address. If you need to change it, you can also do so by clicking here. And a pro tip, if you're shipping your products from overseas to the US, you can potentially save some money by using a California-based ship from address here. Keep in mind though that doing this is actually against Amazon's guidelines, so do this at your own risk, but I haven't had or seen anyone run into any problems. By using a California address, Amazon will tend to have you ship your products to an Amazon warehouse that's located close to the port, instead of having you ship your products to somewhere in the middle of the country where you'd have to pay extra shipping costs. So if you can, find a California address that you can use. If you hired a freight forwarder, ask them if they have a warehouse near the port that you can use. Now, if you're selling in the US marketplace and you want to restock your inventory in the US Amazon warehouses, then choose United States here in the marketplace destination. Otherwise, choose the correct marketplace that you want to ship to here. Okay, now in the packing details, you can see that it says case packed 30. That's because I've already shipped this product to Amazon in the past, and I've already created a packing template for this product. But if this is your first time, then you'll have to create a new packing template by choosing Create New Packing Template. Now, before filling this out, you can see in the template type that there are 2 options. You can choose from case packed or single SKU pallet. For most people, you're not sending in a huge shipment, so your inventory is most likely not going to be palletized. You can see that it says here, template type indicates how you plan to ship your products to Amazon. Select case packed if you want to ship using boxes. Select single SKU pallet if you plan to ship using pallets, usually LTL, and the entire pallet contains only one type of product. So choose case packed. Now, what case packed means can be somewhat confusing for many beginners. As you can see here directly on Amazon's packing guidelines, case packed means all products in a box must have matching SKU and condition and must have been packaged together by the manufacturer. All boxes with the same product must contain equal quantities of that product in each box. For example, a case pack of 24 units must always contain 24 units, and the case pack limit is 150 units per case. So what does that actually mean? It means inside each box, or it's also called a shipping box or shipping carton or master carton, every carton must contain the exact same product. You can't mix and match different products. And inside each carton, it must also contain the same count of that product. You can't have different counts if you're sending multiple cartons. Now, to avoid further confusion, the product is also called a unit. One unit is what the buyer gets when they buy one item from you. For example, let's say you're selling a red toothbrush. The red toothbrush is considered one unit. Every case packed shipping carton must only contain the red toothbrush. You can't mix in green toothbrushes or blue toothbrushes. And if your supplier packaged 100 units in one shipping carton, then all the shipping cartons must also have 100 units of the red toothbrush inside. Does that make sense? Now, to drive this point home, let's say instead you're selling a pack of toothbrushes. It doesn't matter how many are in the pack. It can be a 2-pack or a 6-pack. The whole pack of toothbrushes is still considered one unit. It also doesn't matter if you're selling a toothbrush bundled with toothpaste. The bundle is still considered one unit. One unit is whatever the buyer gets when they buy one item from you. Okay, make sense? We'll talk more about this later on when we go over labeling in the video. So now that you understand what case packed is, give the template a name. I suggest naming it something descriptive so that you know exactly what the template is. For example, My supplier packages these in cartons of 30 units, so I'm going to call this template case packed 30 units. That way I know what this template is just by looking at the name. In the units per box, enter the number of units. In my case, 30. In the box dimensions, enter the size and weight of the carton. You can get this information from your supplier. Make sure this is accurate though. I noticed that this is in inches and pounds. If your supplier gave you the details in metric, make sure you convert it. Now, I also want to point out that there are size and weight limits here. If you exceed them, you will incur fees or penalties. As you can see here, the longest side of each carton cannot be more than 25 inches, and it cannot weigh more than 50 pounds. I'll post a link down in the description below to this page if you want to read more about it. Now, under the prep category, you can choose if you need Amazon to do any additional prep for you. You can see in my case, I want Amazon to bubble wrap this for me. There is a fee to have Amazon do any prep for you though. So if you need Amazon to do any prep, then you can choose what you want them to do by clicking here. Otherwise, choose no prep needed. And most important, you can choose which barcode type you're going to use on your product. My product here is using the Amazon barcode, which is also called the FN SKU. You can see that I can change it here to use the manufacturer barcode, which is also called the UPC barcode. Now, what I suggest is always choose use Amazon barcode and put the FN SKU barcode on your units, not the UPC. If you want to learn more about barcodes, where to buy them, how to change this setting, and why I suggest using the FN SKU, I'll post a link to a video down in the description below. Now, in the Who Labels option, you can choose who is going to put the barcode labels on your product. In most cases, your manufacturer is going to put the barcode on your product for you since it's the easiest and cheapest way to do it, so choose Buy Seller. However, you can have Amazon do it for you too, but Amazon is going to charge you a 55 cent per unit fee, as you can see here. And a pro tip to save some money is to actually have the barcode printed directly on the product packaging instead of using a sticker or label, which costs money. And once you're done, click Save. Okay, now you need to specify how many units you are sending to Amazon. So let's say I want to ship in 5 cartons, so a total of 150 units. You can see it automatically filled in the units here since it knows how many units are inside each carton from the packing template. Click Ready to Send. And if we take a look here, since we're not having Amazon do any prep, there are no additional fees. Click Confirm and Continue. Now you can see we're on step 2. However, before we do that, let's go back real quick so we can cover a few other common shipment scenarios. Let's say you have a situation where you have an extra shipping carton that you also need to ship that's not the standard case pack from your template. Let's say I want to ship in 160 units, so 5 cartons of 30, but I have one extra smaller carton of 10 units. Well, in this case, you can click on More Inputs, Add a Packing Line. Now you can enter the details of your extra shipping carton. If you have more than one packing template like I do here, I have another one that's cartons of 60, I can choose it from here. Or if you want to create a new template, you can do so by choosing Create a New Packing Template. That way you can pull it up again in the future if you need to. However, let's say this is just a one-off situation. So in this case, choose Individual Units, enter 10 units here, then click on Ready to Pack. Now you can see that I have a total of 160 units ready to send here. Now click on Pack Individual Units. Notice this time that instead of jumping directly to step 2, we're now on an intermediate step, step 1B. We need to provide some extra information. So remember, in this scenario, I'm sending in 5 cartons of 30 and an extra carton of 10 units. And all 10 of those extra units are going to be packed into one box. So choose Everything will fit in one box. If it's not, then choose Multiple boxes. Click Confirm. Now again, get the box details from your supplier and enter it here. And keep in mind, I'm just making all of these up for demonstration purposes, so none of this is actually accurate. Click on Confirm Packing Information. Now, if you see a warning here, double check that you've entered the box details and quantities correctly. It's warning you because based on the details that you entered, it doesn't match what Amazon thinks the shipping carton size and weight should be for the number of units that you said that you're going to ship in. It calculates this based on the size and weight and volume of what a single unit is, so double check that you entered everything correctly. This is just a way to help you make sure that you didn't make any mistakes. I made all of these details up, so that's why we're seeing this warning here. So since I know that we're all good here, click on Confirm and Continue. All right, so now you can see that we're back on step 2. And here's where Amazon has made some big changes to how shipping inventory to Amazon works. You can see that the default recommended option here is to use Amazon's partnered carrier option. This option allows you to take advantage of Amazon's shipping discounts versus arranging the shipment yourself through a shipping carrier like FedEx or DHL. So if you do want to arrange a shipment yourself, you can choose the non-partnered carrier option here, which I'll go over in a minute. Now, regardless of which option you choose, Amazon now charges an inbound placement service fee. Here's where you can choose how you want to split up your shipment to Amazon's warehouses. You can see here it says, shipping your inventory to more locations will minimize inbound placement service fees and improve delivery speed to buyers. So basically, if you take on the responsibility to ship your inventory to multiple Amazon warehouses, then you'll pay lower inbound placement service fees. However, the fewer warehouses that you ship to, such as you can see here, I can choose to ship to 5 warehouses, which is free. There's no fee at all. Or I can ship to 3 warehouses, which cost this much. Or I can ship to just 1 warehouse where the fee is much, much higher. If you want to learn more about these options, you can read about them here. And I'll leave a link to this page that goes over the new inbound placement service fee down in the description below. Now, you can see that when I choose this default option, it shows down here the 3 different Amazon warehouses that it wants me to ship to, as well as how many units to ship. Make sure that you don't mix this up. You can see that for shipment number 1 and 2, there are 60 units each. However, shipment number 3 is only 30 units. If you ship inventory to the wrong warehouse, Amazon will charge you penalty fees. All right, next is the shipping mode. You can choose to ship by air or by sea. Air is always going to be the fastest, but it costs significantly more. For example, let's choose a ship date here. Choose a date based on when your supplier will have your inventory ready for shipment. Then click on Get Shipping Cost. Here, you can choose who you want to ship with based on the shipping service and estimated delivery date that you require. You can see how much it will cost, who the carrier is, and if you require them to pick up your shipment, what the additional fee is here. Then enter the shipping details here. Again, you can get all of this information from your supplier. Then enter a brief description of what you're shipping here for each shipment. And when you're done, check mark that you agreed to the terms and conditions and click on Accept Charges and continue. Now, I want to warn you here, if you choose the partnered carrier option, you're going to get charged right away as soon as you accept the charges. However, if you decide to change your mind, you only have 24 hours to cancel the shipment to get a full refund. If it's beyond 24 hours, you can still cancel the shipment, but you will not get a refund. Now, before continuing, let's go over the non-partnered carrier option. If we choose the non-partnered carrier option, there's a few different options that we have to complete. You can see here you have to set the ship date. This is when you plan to ship your inventory. Now, it doesn't have to be exact, but you should try to be as accurate as possible. You can always change it later if you need to. And you can see that the shipment splits and inbound placement service fee options are the same. Next is the shipping mode. Basically, if you're just starting out on Amazon, you're always going to choose SPD, which stands for small parcel delivery. These are loose cartons that are not on a pallet. Pallet delivery is when you're shipping in much larger quantities where the cartons are palletized, but that's generally for once you've built your business to a much larger scale and you're shipping in more than just a few hundred units. Then you can save a lot of money by palletizing your shipment. Now, select the shipping carrier you're using from the drop-down list. It really doesn't matter which carrier you choose here, but again, you should be as accurate as you can. And if your carrier isn't on this list, then choose Other. Then choose how you're shipping your inventory. Air, ground, or sea. Again, it really doesn't really matter which one you choose, but be as accurate as you can. And again, you can see how Amazon wants you to split up your shipments here. For each shipment, you need to enter a delivery window. This is when you expect your shipment to arrive at Amazon's warehouse. It's extremely important that you try to be as accurate as possible here. Amazon has a new policy now that if your shipment misses the delivery window that you specify, meaning that it arrives early or late, it can affect your account health as well as slow down the shipment processing. So if your delivery changes for whatever reason, make sure you update the shipping plan and adjust the delivery window accordingly. You can see here that it says, the delivery window is when you expect your shipment to arrive at the fulfillment center. This information will help us get your products in stock faster. Choose an estimated 14-day date range. You can update this when you enter your tracking details. Notice that it also says, this delivery window can be edited in the final step up to October 31st, 2024. Once this date arrives, you won't be able to edit these shipping details. If you want to learn more about how this delivery window works, you can read more about the requirements on this page here, and I'll leave a link to this page down in the description below. Now, once you've set the dates, you can review the summary here, and if everything looks good, click on Accept Charges and Confirm Shipping. Okay, and now we're back on step 3. Here's where we can download and print the box labels. These are the labels that need to go on your shipping cartons. So to download or print the box labels, choose the label size and click on Print. Now, if you're not the one shipping your inventory, then save the box labels as a PDF and email it to your supplier or freight forwarder for them to place on your shipping cartons. But make sure the correct label goes on the corresponding carton, especially since Amazon is specifying different unit quantities for each shipment. Remember, shipping to the wrong warehouse will cause delays and Amazon will charge you penalty fees. And a pro tip here, if you hired a freight forwarder, some might even make this whole shipping process a lot easier for you by actually creating the shipping plan for you on your account. So if you would like them to do that, ask them to see if they offer that service. Now, one issue that I want to cover that many beginners get confused over is these box labels here are for Amazon's internal use only. It's specifically for Amazon to identify the shipment when it arrives at the Amazon warehouse. These box labels have nothing to do with the actual physical shipping of your products. If you didn't use the Amazon Partner Carrier Program, then you or your freight forwarder still need to arrange the actual shipping through a shipping carrier like FedEx, UPS, or DHL. Once that's done, you'll get a second set of labels from the shipping carrier. So for example, if you hired FedEx to ship your inventory, then you'll get a FedEx shipping label that looks something like this. And this FedEx shipping label will also need to go on each shipping carton. Without actually hiring a shipping carrier to ship your shipment, you can't ship your products. Okay, now once you've completed the shipping plan, if your supplier or freight forwarder is handling the shipment for you, then there's nothing left for you to do. However, if you're shipping the products yourself, you can then drop off the shipment at UPS or FedEx or whoever the carrier is. If you don't want to drop it off yourself, you can actually arrange to have UPS or FedEx come to your house and pick up the shipment, but they'll charge you a pickup fee. And that's it. Once you have the tracking details, you can enter them into the shipping plan. If you have them already, you can enter them here. However, if you don't have them, you can enter them later. Just click on Shipments at the top of the page, Manage Shipments, then click on Track Shipment, and then click on the Track Shipment tab and enter the tracking numbers here. Now, back on the Shipment Events tab, you can track the entire status of your shipment. You can see when the shipment was created, when it was actually shipped, when it was delivered and checked in, when it was received, and the final summary here. Now, take note that once your shipment is delivered to the Amazon warehouse, it doesn't mean that your inventory is ready to sell in the marketplace. Your shipment still needs to be checked in and processed. What that means is Amazon needs to acknowledge that your shipment has arrived and scan all of your units to verify that what you've sent in matches what you entered in the shipping plan. This process can take a few days to several weeks, so don't be surprised if your shipment is stuck in the receiving status for weeks. And I've seen this take as long as 4 to 6 weeks to complete. So if you're planning to sell your product during Q4, or if you're trying to restock before you run out of inventory, make sure to send in your shipment way ahead of time and allow for any long delays. If you want to learn more about what all of these statuses mean, you can find a list of them here, and I'll leave a link to this page down in the description below. Now, 2 mistakes I see a lot of beginners make. First, if you get this error when you're entering how many boxes you're sending in, this product exceeds your current FBA capacity limit. That means you don't have enough storage space to send that many units to Amazon. Oftentimes, you'll see this error even when you haven't even shipped anything yet. That's because you created a shipping plan in the past, but didn't actually use it. So the inventory that you specified in that previous shipping plan is being allocated towards your storage capacity. So go to your shipments page and delete or cancel the old shipping plans to recover that storage space. And the second common mistake that I see is mixing up the unit size and weight with the shipping carton size and weight. I actually see this happening all the time. When you create your first shipping plan, you'll be asked to enter the dimensions and weight of your unit. don't mix this up with the size and weight of your shipping carton. This will create huge problems for you. You'll get storage errors, and you'll notice that the FBA fees and shipping cost calculations are astronomically high, and that's because Amazon thinks your individual product is the size and weight of your shipping carton, and fixing this problem is a huge hassle. So if you made a mistake and you need to change or update the shipping plan, or even delete it altogether so that you can start all over, let's go over how you can do that next. We all make mistakes. Sometimes you create a shipping plan and you realize after that you need to make a change to it, or you messed up so bad that you want to completely start over. A few common reasons we would need to modify a shipping plan is because we want to change how many units we want to send in, or even more importantly, since Amazon's recent changes to the inbound shipping requirements is updating the delivery window so that our account health isn't negatively affected. So how can we do that? Well, in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how. First things first. I'm assuming you've already created a shipping plan and now you need to make a change to it, cancel it, or delete it altogether so that you can start over. So let's start with editing a shipping plan. Now, depending on what stage you left off when you created the shipping plan, you'll have different options available to you that you can edit or modify. For example, if you haven't completed the shipping plan yet, meaning you started the first few steps of the shipping plan and then abandoned it, then you'll be able to make changes to it. So to edit or continue the existing shipping plan, if you head on over to your shipments page by clicking on Menu, Inventory, Shipments, you won't find it here. You need to go to your Manage Inventory page and click on Send or Replenish Inventory from the drop-down menu, and then at the top here, click on Active Workflows. On this window, you'll see a list of shipping plan workflows that you've been working on and when you last worked on it. So find the shipping plan workflow you want to edit or continue working on and click on Switch to this workflow. Now you can see that it pulled up everything from the shipping plan where you last left off, and you'll be able to make changes to the shipping plan here. Now, if when you created the shipping plan, you completed step 2, meaning you clicked on the Accept Charges and Confirm Shipping button here, then you'll be limited on what you can change and edit in the shipping plan. So to make changes in this scenario, you can find the shipping plan by going to your shipment queue page. Click on Menu, Inventory, Shipments, and you'll be able to see the shipping plan that you created here. Click on Work on Shipment, and here, for example, you'll be able to enter the tracking number if you haven't done so already. You can also change the shipping carrier here, as well as the delivery window. Now, in this shipping plan, I'm using the non-partnered carrier option, so it doesn't really matter which carrier I choose here. However, it's very important that you set the delivery window accurately. This is when you expect your shipment to arrive at the Amazon warehouse. If your shipment doesn't arrive within the window you specify in the shipping plan, it will start to affect your account health. So if the original delivery window date that you set hasn't arrived yet, you can still make changes to the shipping plan and update this delivery window. Unexpected things happen, so if you realize that your shipment is going to arrive early or late and not within the delivery window that you set, make sure you update it here right away. Beyond that, the only other thing you can change is the shipment details and boxing configuration here on step 3. For example, if you need to print the box labels, you can do so here. Or if you click on View or Edit Contents, you can change the box size and weight, how many units you are sending, and if you need to add additional SKUs or boxes to the shipment. However, take note, it says here, unit quantity changes cannot exceed 5% or 6 units per SKU per shipment, whichever is greater. So if you want to send more units that you originally planned, you can only increase that number of units by 5% or 6 units, whichever is greater. Otherwise, you'll have to start over and create a new shipping plan. And a pro tip, I suggest you name your shipments to something more easily identifiable, especially when you get to the point where you have multiple products and multiple shipments so that you know what each shipment is for, rather than the default workflow name that Amazon assigns. As you can see here, this shipment workflow has this cryptic default name here. You can rename it by clicking here and name it something you can identify, such as what SKU you're shipping and how many units. Can openers, 10 units. Now, if there's anything beyond these settings that you need to change or modify, your only option is to create a new shipping plan. Okay, so that's how you can edit a shipping plan. Now, what if you need to cancel or delete a shipping plan that you've already created? And there are a number of reasons why you would want to do that. Like, as I mentioned earlier, you need to change an option that you don't have the ability to anymore through the edit option. Or the most important reason that most sellers don't realize is that shipping plans that are not canceled or deleted in your shipping queue tie up your storage capacity. What I mean is, once you've created a shipping plan, regardless if you're actually going to use it or not, Amazon will allocate your available storage space for those units that you entered into the shipping plan, reducing the amount of storage space you have available for future shipping plans. So if you try to create a new shipping plan and you get an error saying that you don't have enough space available and you haven't actually shipped anything to Amazon, then the most likely reason is because you have old, unused shipping plans tying up your storage capacity. You'll need to delete those shipping plans to free up your available storage space in order to send in more inventory. You can check your storage and restock limits at the bottom of the shipping queue page here. The storage and restock limits are grouped by tier, not by product. For example, for the standard size tier, you can see how much space you are currently using and how much total space you have available. And also for oversized products, extra large, and the others here. So again, each time you create a new shipping plan, the amount of storage space that shipment takes up is allocated and deducted from your total available storage and restock limit. So make sure you delete unused shipping plans. All right, so how do you actually delete a shipping plan? Again, navigate to the shipping plan you want to cancel, click on Work on Shipment, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and you can cancel the shipping plan by clicking on the Delete Shipment and Charges link here. Now, keep in mind that shipping plans do expire automatically after 90 days, and the status will automatically be changed to closed, like you can see here. And you'll no longer be able to make any changes to it. However, a pro tip, if you have a shipment that's already on the way and the shipping plan gets closed by Amazon, that's okay. Amazon will still accept the shipment when it arrives at the Amazon warehouse. And also take note, if you created a shipping plan using the Partnered Carrier program, you can also cancel or delete it here. However, you only have 24 hours to cancel it to get a full refund on the shipping charges. If it's been more than 24 hours, you can see here that it says, your fees will not be canceled even if the shipment is canceled. Shipping inventory to Amazon for a single SKU is relatively straightforward, but quite often you need to ship multiple SKUs, products, or variations, and it would be so much easier and cheaper if you could ship them all together in one shipment. Now, there's actually 3 different ways to ship multiple SKUs to Amazon, so I'll show you the step-by-step process to save a bunch of time and money by shipping multiple SKUs in one single shipment by creating just one shipping plan. And I'll also show you how you can avoid paying Amazon's new inbound shipping placement fee by shipping multiple SKUs, as well as a new simple trick on how you can now send all your future shipments even easier with just one click. All right, so in order to ship inventory to Amazon, you need to have created a product listing for all of your SKUs. So if you haven't done that yet, you need to do that first. I have a video that goes over how to do that, and I'll leave a link to that video down in the description below. Now, once you've done that, log into Seller Central, click on the menu, Inventory, Manage Inventory. Okay, the first way to ship multiple SKUs, products, or different variations to Amazon is the pretty obvious way. You can create a separate shipping plan for each SKU, product, or variation. But doing that can increase your shipping costs since you're shipping multiple cartons and Amazon may require you to send each carton to a different warehouse. So if you're able to combine all of your SKUs into one single shipping plan, and especially if everything can fit into one shipping carton, you can save time and money by shipping just to one Amazon warehouse. All right, so in order to do that, there's 2 ways you can send multiple SKUs in a single shipping plan. The first way is where a lot of beginners get lost or confused. For example, if you started a new shipping plan by clicking on one of your SKUs and choosing Send Replenished Inventory, like this one right here, this is the process on how you would normally send just one SKU. But if you changed your mind or you're returning to an unfinished shipping plan, you can actually add more SKUs to the existing shipping plan by clicking on this tab here, All FBA SKUs, and then checkmark all the other SKUs that you want to add to the shipping plan. Then just add how many units or boxes that you want to ship to Amazon. Click Ready to Pack, and then click Confirm and Continue. Now, one thing to note, and pay close attention here because you're most likely going to have to do this. If you've never shipped any of these SKUs to Amazon before, like if it's a new product and it's your first time shipping it to Amazon, or in most situations when you want to ship multiple SKUs to Amazon, you don't want to ship entire cartons of a SKU to Amazon. You just want to ship a few units of each SKU. Then you'll have to click on the pencil icon here and create a new packing template. So for example, you can see on this SKU here, the default packing template is one that I've already created called Case Packed 60. That's because my supplier packages this product in single cartons with 60 units inside, and this is how I normally ship this to Amazon. For example, if I click on the edit button, you can see this template is case packed. There are 60 units per box, and this is the size and weight of one carton. I got this information from my supplier, so anytime I want to replenish this SKU, this is the default template that I use. However, if you've never shipped to Amazon before, you won't have a default template, so you'll have to enter all of the details here, and once you save it, you'll be able to reuse the template in your future shipments. And a pro tip here, I suggest naming your templates like I have so that it's easily identifiable. You can see that I named mine Case Packed 60, so I can recognize it from the drop-down menu. This is extremely helpful because sometimes your supplier may have different carton sizes. For example, your supplier may have a carton with 60 units and another carton with only 10 units. You can create a packing template for both carton sizes, and if you name them this way, you can easily identify and choose them from the drop-down menu when you're creating future shipments. Now, when you want to ship multiple SKUs, often you're not shipping entire cartons of each SKU, you just want to ship a few units. So as you can see, I only have the Case Packed 60 template for this SKU here. If I wanted to ship only 5 units, you can see that I can't enter that here. It's grayed out. I can only enter the number of boxes. So in this case, click on More Inputs here, then click on Add a Packing Line. And you can see it says Individual Units is now selected here. And now I can enter the number of single units that I want to ship to Amazon. All right, now once you're done here, click on Ready to Pack, and then click on Continue. Okay, if we head back to the Manage Inventory page, the second way to ship multiple SKUs to Amazon is to simply checkmark all of the SKUs that you want to ship here. Then down at the bottom of the page here, click on Select Group Action, Send Replenish Inventory. Then verify that these are all the SKUs that you want to send. If not, you can always click on the All FBA SKUs tab at the top like we did before and add more SKUs. Then this page should look familiar. We just went over it a minute ago. So fill in the shipping details for each SKU, click on Ready to Send, and then confirm and continue. Now on the next step here, if everything fits into one shipping box, then choose Everything will fit into one box. Otherwise, choose multiple boxes will be needed. Now, if everything does fit in one box, that's actually really simple. There's nothing special that you'll need to do. Just put all of your SKUs into one box and tape it up. However, if there are multiple boxes, then on this next step, enter how many boxes you're going to ship to Amazon here. Then you'll have to specify how many units of each SKU you're packing into each box. And then enter the weight of each box here, as well as the size here. Now, again, if you're not packing this yourself, you can always get this information from your supplier. Now, if all the boxes are the same size and weight, you can check mark them here. Otherwise, you can click on Add Another Box Dimension to enter the size of the other box here. And then check mark which box dimensions applies to which box here. And now, once you're done with that, click on Confirm. Now, if any warnings pop up like you can see here, make sure you've entered the details correctly. Based on the size and weight of your SKUs, Amazon is warning you that the shipping carton information doesn't look right for what you're saying that you're putting into each carton. In my case here, I just made up the box weight and dimensions, so that's why these warnings are popping up. Now, if you know what you entered is correct, then you can just continue by clicking on Dismiss Warnings and Confirm. Now, I'm not going to go into detail about what all of these other options are here. If you want to learn more about how to create a shipping plan, I'll leave a link to a step-by-step video that goes over all of this down in the description below. Now, what I do want to point out on this next step is down here. You can see in my case, it's showing there are 2 shipments. I need to send one shipment to this Amazon warehouse and the other shipment to this Amazon warehouse. And make sure you don't mix this up. Shipment number 1 is these 2 boxes that contain these 2 SKUs, and shipment number 2 is 2 boxes of this 1 SKU. And this is very important that you don't mix this up because you'll incur fees and penalties if you send them to the wrong Amazon warehouse. What helps is, especially if you have multiple boxes, is to not tape them up completely until you've already printed these box labels out. That way you can verify what's inside each box before sealing it up and taping the correct label on each box. Now, I mentioned earlier how you can save time and money by shipping multiple SKUs in a single shipment, so let's talk about that. First, if we take a look at this section here, Notice that the only option for my shipment is this one. Which options are available here are based on the configuration of the shipment. And because I chose the Amazon partnered carrier option, this shipment will cost me $202 to ship to Amazon. This is the inbound placement fee. You can actually ship to Amazon and avoid having to pay this inbound placement fee if you're shipping multiple SKUs, and I'll show you how. If we take a look at the inbound placement fee guidelines page, it says here, to qualify for the Amazon optimized inbound option with no inbound fee, your shipments must include at least 5 identical cartons or pallets per item. Each carton or pallet must contain the same quantity per item and the same item mix. What that means is, if you ship multiple SKUs and package them into 5 or more shipping cartons with the exact same configuration for each carton, Amazon won't charge you the inbound placement fee. And that's because they're putting the onus on the seller to distribute your inventory across Amazon's network of warehouses instead of having to do it themselves. It says here, we are regionalizing our inbound network to improve delivery speeds to customers. Based on its design, shipping 5 or more identical cartons or pallets for each item provides the minimum quantity required to spread your inventory to all regions. You can see examples of how this works here. So if you take a little more time and put a little more thought into how you box up your multiple SKU shipments, you can potentially save a ton of money here. But there's a caveat. From my personal experience, sometimes paying the inbound shipment fee ends up being cheaper than trying to box them up to avoid the fee. And that's because I now have to ship to 5 or more Amazon warehouses. So make sure you compare and do the math to see if it actually makes sense for your shipment. Now, speaking of packaging, if you're packing multiple SKUs in a single box, make sure the box meets Amazon's inbound shipping guidelines and that the box isn't considered oversized. You can see the list of guidelines on this page here, but most notably is this. Boxes must not exceed these maximum size and weight requirements. No more than 25 inches on any side and no more than 50 pounds total. What I suggest is read through this to make sure you're packing and labeling your shipments correctly, and I'll leave a link to this page down in the description below. And also make sure that you're not inadvertently damaging your own products. If you package several units in a single box, they can bang around during shipping and the packages inside can get dented, or if you have fragile products, they can end up broken. So make sure you're packing them properly so that they don't get banged around, or split the products up so you're not mixing fragile with non-fragile products together in a single box. All right, now Amazon added a new feature that makes shipping in inventory so much easier, especially if your shipments are usually the same every time. If you navigate over to your shipments page by clicking on Menu, Inventory, Shipments, you can see right at the top here it says, What's new? Send It Again feature is launched. Send It Again enables you to duplicate SKUs and quantities from a previously created shipment in one click. Now, instead of having to start from scratch every time you need to ship inventory to Amazon, you can now go to a previous shipment that you want to duplicate, click on the arrow here, and click on Send It Again. Now, all the previous options and settings are already set for you from the previous shipment. All you need to do is verify the packing details and complete the rest of the shipping plan. Now, speaking of packing, let's talk about how to package and label your products and shipping cartons. If this is your first time shipping products to Amazon, it's crucial that you properly package and label your shipments correctly, because improper preparation can lead to your inventory being rejected, incurring penalties, or even losing your FBA privileges entirely. I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know, from properly packaging your individual products, the different packaging types available to you, how to label your products including Amazon's barcode requirements, and finally, how to box and label your products into shipping cartons. All right, let's get started. Okay, let's first get a general overview of what the Amazon packaging and prep guidelines are so that you can understand the entire process. The Amazon packaging and prep guidelines are the requirements that your product's packaging and shipping cartons need to follow. As you can see here, it says, follow these general requirements when shipping units to fulfillment centers. Certain products have other specific requirements. Amazon may refuse, return, or repackage any product delivered to the fulfillment center with an inadequate or non-compliant packaging at your expense. And I'll leave a link to this page in the description below so you can refer to it on your own. Okay, so let's go over how to properly package your product. There are 3 main types of packaging that's most commonly used. The first and most common type is a box. For example, iPhones and iPads are sold in boxes. Cereal and toothpaste are sold in boxes. These are usually custom designed boxes with graphics and other marketing information to add value to improve the customer experience, but you'll also commonly see products sold in plain generic boxes like you can see here. Another common packaging type is a poly bag. These are clear bags that can be plain or custom designed. They often have an adhesive seal or a Ziploc style seal on one end. You can spice up these by including an insert card to add your branding or additional product information. The third type is a blister pack. These are ideal for products where you want to show off the contents, like toothbrushes, marker pens, or toys. The type of packaging you choose should suit the product based on how much protection it needs, how to keep all the contents together, and the overall unboxing experience for the customer. Usually, the manufacturer will have a preferred packaging method, but you can always ask your manufacturer if there are other options or if you can change or customize it. If they're not able to accommodate your request, you might consider finding another supplier who can, or find a separate packaging supplier that can. Now, regardless of the packaging type that you choose, everything included in your product must be contained within one package. For example, if you're selling a product with multiple pieces or parts, such as a battery bank and a USB charging cable, both items need to be inside one single package. Or if you're selling a multi-pack of 5 USB cables, all 5 cables need to be in one package. Amazon will not assemble or box separate products for you. You can see here that for loose products, it says, Amazon does not accept units that would require Amazon to assemble multiple pieces. For example, wheelbarrows where the handles and legs are separate but are sold as one piece. Units that are not contained in a secure package, such as loose sleeves or pouches, must be bagged or secured with a non-adhesive band or removable tape. And products sold in sets, it says, units that are sold in sets, such as a set of 6 unique toy cars that are sold as one unit, must be marked as sets on their packaging. Add a label to the unit that clearly states that the products are to be received and sold as a single unit. For example, sold as set, ready to ship, or this is a set. Do not separate. You can see examples here. All right, now let's talk about the packaging requirements for each packaging type. And this part is extremely important because if you fail to follow these requirements, your shipment will get rejected, you'll incur penalties or fines, or you can lose your FBA privileges altogether. For boxes, make sure they meet these guidelines. Boxes must be 6-sided. Must have openings or a lid that will not easily open on its own. Use tape, glue, or staples if necessary. Must not collapse when medium pressure is applied to any of the sides. If the box unit has perforated sides or openings, it must pass a 3-foot drop test. If it doesn't, place it in a poly bag with a suffocation warning. Now for poly bags, they must meet these requirements. Poly bags with a 5-inch opening or larger must have a suffocation warning either printed on the bag or attached as a label. Failure to apply a suffocation warning may lead to the items being rebagged. Poly bags must be at least 1.5 mils thick, transparent, and have a scannable UPC or Amazon barcode. Poly bags must be completely sealed and not protrude more than 3 inches past the dimensions of the product. Now you can actually buy poly bags with the warning already printed on them like you can see here. In fact, you can buy them directly from Amazon or from a supplier. Another option is to put the warning on a sticker label. Now, if you want to learn how you can make your own warning labels or print them along with the barcode on a single sticker, which will help you save some money, I'll leave a link to a video down in the description below that shows you exactly how to do this. Okay, now products with bubble wrap must meet the following criteria. Tightly wrapped and taped shut so the product cannot fall out, labeled with a scannable barcode on the outside, able to pass a 3-foot drop test on a hard surface without the contents breaking, like you can see here. And bubble wrap may be required for items that are fragile and could be easily damaged during transit, heavy or dense and could damage other items during transit. And the overboxing section here, I'll cover later on in the video when I go over the Amazon branded shipping packages that are sent to your customers. Okay, now moving on. Let's talk about the product labeling requirements. There's 2 specific labels that new sellers often forget or get wrong. Correct labeling is crucial to avoiding shipment delays, fines, or rejections. The first requirement is actually not an Amazon requirement, but a US Customs requirement. If you're importing your goods from outside the US, you need to have the country of origin on every single unit and the master carton. For example, if your products are coming from China, every unit and the master carton needs to have Made in China on it, and it can directly be printed on the product itself or on the product packaging, or it can be a sticker like you can see here in these examples. In fact, on my very first FBA shipment, I wasn't aware of this requirement, and luckily, because I'm a little bit OCD, I was reading the Amazon forums and read another person's post dealing with this problem, and I realized that I didn't do this. Fortunately, I was able to fix it before my shipment left my supplier's warehouse. And the second label requirement is the barcode, and this is a huge source of confusion for sellers, so pay close attention here. Amazon requires that every unit must have either the UPC barcode, otherwise called the manufacturer barcode, or the Amazon barcode on it. The Amazon barcode is also called the FNSKU or FNSKU. Now, if you're doing wholesale or arbitrage, your products are already going to have a UPC barcode on them. However, if you're doing private label, your products are not going to have a barcode on it. You're going to have to buy a UPC barcode for each one of your products, and only buy directly from the GS1 website. Do not buy from third-party websites. Amazon may not approve them, and you can have your listing shut down, like you can see it says here. All invalid product UPC listings will be removed and may result in your ASIN creation or selling privileges being temporarily or permanently removed. Now, I have a separate video that goes over barcodes specifically, how to buy them, how many to buy, and why you should only buy directly from GS1, and I'll leave a link to that video down in the description below. Now, regardless if you're doing wholesale, arbitrage, or private label, my suggestion is to not put the UPC barcode on your product. Always put the FNSKU or Amazon barcode on it. So if you're doing wholesale or arbitrage, cover the UPC barcode that's already on each unit with the FNSKU. You can print the FNSKU on a sticker label and place it over the existing UPC barcode, or use a Sharpie and scratch it out so the UPC code is not scannable. You can see here that it says only one barcode can be visible on each unit. One important thing to note, the barcode label must be placed on the outermost packaging so that it can be easily scanned. It cannot be on the inside, covered, or hidden on a curved surface or in the corner of the package. The reason you want to always use the FNSKU barcode instead of the UPC is to keep your inventory separate from other sellers. If you use the UPC barcode, if you have other sellers on your listing or you get hijackers on your listing, all of your inventory will get mixed together, and you never want to do that since you can't ensure the quality of their inventory. They can be damaged, missing pieces, or be counterfeit. So you can download or print the FNSKU from the Print Item Labels option in Seller Central, or when you create a shipping plan. It'll have an option for you to print them there. If you're not going to be putting the barcode label on yourself, you can save the FNSKU as a PDF and email it to your supplier so that they can place it on your product for you. And a pro tip, if you're creating custom packaging for your product, you can have the country of origin and the FNSKU barcode incorporated directly into the package design so that they can just be directly printed onto the box rather than having to use a sticker. This will not only make the overall design look cleaner, but it'll also save you some money by not having to print additional labels and pay for the extra stickers. Now, if for whatever reason your supplier can't do the labeling for you or you don't want them to do it for you, you can have Amazon put the barcode label on for you. However, Amazon will charge you a 55-cent per unit fee. And I also want to point out that if you incorrectly label your products, Amazon will charge you an unplanned service fee to fix them. And if you continue to send in inventory incorrectly, you can lose your FBA selling privileges altogether. Okay, and one final label that I want to cover has to do with expiration dates. If you're selling beauty products or grocery items, for example, you also need to have the expiration date on each unit. And take note, the expiration dates must be in this specific format and follow these guidelines here. Again, I'll leave a link to this page in the description below so you can refer to it on your own. All right, so that covers the packaging and labeling requirements for the product itself. So let's move on to the shipping cartons. These are the boxes that you or your supplier are going to package and ship your products to Amazon in. These are also called the master cartons. Now, there's two ways that you can package your master cartons. You can either have them case packed or individually packed. Case pack means your shipment consists of boxes that contain identical items with matching SKUs that are also in the same condition. They also must meet these criteria. All products in a box must have a matching SKU and condition. All boxes with the same product must contain equal quantities of that product in each box. For example, a case pack of 24 units must always contain 24 units, and the case pack limit is 150 units per case. So an example of case packed would be, let's say you're shipping in 300 units of can openers and you've boxed them up into 2 cartons with 150 can openers in each carton. Each carton has the exact same product inside. There's the same quantity in each carton, and all the units are in the same condition, such as everything inside is new or everything inside is used. Now, individually packed means you pack the shipment cartons with different items or SKUs inside, or they're in different conditions. Individually packed cartons can contain different quantities of the same SKU in each case, and can contain more than 150 units in any case. So an example of individually packed would be, let's say you're shipping in 500 can openers and 100 garlic presses. You can throw them all into one shipping carton, or have multiple cartons with both SKUs mixed inside the cartons in no specific organization. How you package your products for shipping is very important because you need to know these specific details when you create a shipping plan. You need to create a shipping plan in order to ship your products to Amazon's warehouses. Now, if you want to learn more about this, I have a video that goes over how to create shipping plans, and I'll leave a link to that video down in the description below. Now, for most people just starting out, you're not shipping a ton of inventory that you would need to palletize, ship on a truck, or use an entire shipping container. So when you create your shipping plan, you'll be choosing the SPD or small parcel delivery option. In this case, the shipping cartons need to meet these SPD requirements. They must have an FBA shipment ID label and a carrier label. You'll get these from your shipping plan and shipping carrier or freight forwarder. They must not weigh more than 50 pounds and cannot exceed 25 inches on any side. And again, take note, it says here, important, box weight and dimension policies are strictly enforced. Sending overweight or oversized boxes to fulfillment centers may lead to the blocking of future shipments. Also, if we take a look at this section here, it says SPD shipments using an Amazon partnered carrier, the maximum units per box is 200 units and 500 units per carton for non-partnered carrier shipments. And a pro tip, you should always try to use the Amazon partnered carrier option whenever you can. If it's available, you'll see an option to select it here in the shipping plan. Because Amazon does so much shipping volume, they offer deep discounts on shipments to sellers versus arranging the shipment yourself through a shipping carrier such as UPS, FedEx, or DHL. The savings are sometimes more than half the price, and you can verify that for yourself by creating the same shipment directly on UPS or FedEx's website and comparing the prices. All right, now that you understand how your products need to be packaged for shipment, they also need to have specific labels on them. There are 2 labels that need to go on your shipping cartons, and what's confusing is that they're both called shipping labels, so pay close attention here. For all shipments going to Amazon, Amazon requires you to create a shipping plan. If you're shipping your products from your supplier to your house, then you don't need to create a shipping plan for that portion of the shipment. Amazon only cares about shipments going to Amazon's warehouses. Creating a shipping plan lets Amazon know what you're shipping in, when to expect the shipment, and it'll tell you which fulfillment centers that you need to ship your products to. When you create the shipping plan, you'll be given shipping labels that look like this that you'll need to print out and affix to your shipping cartons. 1 label for each carton. You can also download these shipping labels and email them to your supplier or freight forwarder if they're the ones handling a shipment so that they can put them on the shipping cartons for you. But be aware, if you're shipping multiple cartons of different products or quantities in each carton, make sure the correct label goes on the corresponding carton so that they go to the right fulfillment center, as Amazon may not have you ship everything to the same warehouse. And take note that the Amazon warehouse that they need to ship to is on the shipping label here. Now, here's where a lot of beginners get confused. These Amazon shipping labels are simply to identify the shipment when it arrives at Amazon's warehouse so that they know what it is and who they belong to. These Amazon shipping labels will not actually let you ship your products. These labels have nothing to do with the physical shipping of your products. In order to physically ship your products, you, your supplier, or your freight forwarder will need to arrange the shipment with an actual shipping carrier like UPS, FedEx, or DHL. The carrier will then provide you with their own shipping labels that look like this. These labels also need to go on each shipping carton, one label for each carton. But keep in mind, unless you're shipping the products to Amazon yourself, you most likely won't be dealing with this part. Your supplier or freight forwarder will be creating the shipment with the shipping carrier, and they'll get the labels and put them on the cartons for you. However, if you created a shipping plan and you chose the partnered carrier option, you'll also be able to download and print the carrier shipping labels at that time. Okay, now remember in the beginning of the video, I mentioned the overboxing option. It's crucial that you properly package your product to prevent any possible damage from shipping and handling. You can't rely on Amazon to properly protect and package your products when they ship it to your customers. In fact, they won't. And remember, your products aren't just shipping from Amazon's warehouse to your customer, they're also traveling a long distance to get to Amazon, especially if they're coming from overseas. You can see that it says here, we may require overboxing when there are safety concerns about shipping and handling. Overboxing involves placing a prepared or packaged product in a box for additional protection, even if the product is already boxed. For products over 10 pounds, use double-walled corrugated boxes for overboxing. Overboxing is required for the following types of products: sharp items that could puncture packaging materials, fragile items that failed a 3-foot drop test after bubble wrap was applied or that could be damaged during shipping and handling, hazardous liquids in glass containers over 4.2 ounces, and vinyl records. And like I said, Amazon isn't going to take any extra measures or precautions when they ship your product to your customers. When you're doing FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon, each time someone buys your product, Amazon will pick your product off the shelf, package it in a shipping box or padded envelope, and label it for shipping. This is all included as part of the Amazon FBA fees that you're paying each time you make a sale. And these packages are the Amazon branded boxes and padded envelopes that everyone easily recognizes, like you can see here. However, you don't know if Amazon will ship your product in a box or in an envelope. Shoppers might buy your product by itself or along with a bunch of other items in their shopping cart. Therefore, if your product is fragile, you'll want to make sure that your product packaging is sufficient to protect it from damage during handling and shipping. Never rely on the Amazon packaging. They often don't even add any extra packing material. The responsibility is on you to properly package your product. You'll get bad reviews if your buyers get damaged products. But here's a pro tip. Sometimes Amazon will ship your products in a padded envelope rather than a box so they can cut down on their shipping costs. In those cases, if your product is fragile and can be damaged or crushed because it wasn't shipped in a box, what you can actually do is contact Amazon and request to have your product to be always shipped in a box. Unfortunately, the thing is, you can't just contact them and make that request. What you need to do is prove to them that your product is being damaged and that it's not your fault with your packaging method, but it's due to Amazon shipping it in a padded envelope. What you want to do is collect any bad reviews or returns you received where the buyer left a message indicating that your product was delivered damaged. You'll need more than 1 or 2 of these though. Then submit these reviews to Amazon as evidence along with your request to ship it in a box instead in order to get them to approve the change. Now that you understand how to get your product shipped to Amazon's warehouse, you need to prepare for a product launch. And the best way to generate your initial sales is to create powerful PPC campaigns that focus on sales conversions, not sales volume. A strategy that will help boost your listing rank in the search results. And this video right over here will show you exactly how to do that.